Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch. I might talk about quilting or maybe some live things here and there. So if you're into cross stitch and you want to see more of what I do, stick around. If you are not new here, thank you for coming back. Apparently you like my babbling and showing what I'm doing, so I appreciate y'all staying. It means a lot to me. Today is FlossTube number 18. It is May 4th, 2021. Growing up, I was a huge Star Wars fan, so may the 4th be with you. So how's everyone doing? I want to thank everyone for your comments last week. Your comments mean a lot to me. It shows that you're watching and paying attention and listening to myself. So I appreciate that. I'm inching up to 200 subscribers. Still a little slow, but I'm okay with that. You know, slow and steady. I'm not out to do this for the subscribers. It just, y'all are somebody for me to talk to. I stay home by myself. I was a stay-at-home homeschooling mom, and so now that the kids are grown and out of the house, I have no one to talk to, so I'm talking to y'all. So there you go. So, May plans. I know I said last week that basically my May plans was to stitch what I want. May is my birthday month. I do take the whole month. Anything that we do during May is for my birthday. My husband asks me every weekend, what do you want to do? It's your birthday month. We'll go do it. So this past Saturday, the small town that my husband went to high school in had an herb fest. So it was so nice. Our governor lifted the mask mandate, and so it was nice to be able to walk outside and see everybody's faces. People still had masks on, and that's their choice. We got to do what we got to do for ourselves and keep ourselves safe. But anyway, so it was nice. So we walked around, we saw some plants we wanted. We bought absolutely nothing except for a bag of kettle corn, and visited a couple of little antique shops in the town and just enjoyed the day. It was still cool. It hasn't gotten very hot here, which is kind of odd. Usually by now we're getting pretty warm, but it was still kind of in the morning, and so it felt good. It felt good to be out, see people's faces. So what have I been working on? I am still working on Americana April. Yeah, I really want to finish this piece, and I really, really like it. And so this is America by Calico Confectionery. And I did not get a whole lot done. Usually this is a weeknight stitch. I stitch small pieces in hand. At night, my husband and I watch BBC documentaries. And so I like to stitch small items in hand while we do that, because it allows me to listen, and I can look up every now and then, and I don't feel like I'm going to lose count. And so far I've only had to rip one little piece of this whole thing. So this is the only thing I've done. Not a whole lot. I think I finished the M and started the E. So not a lot, but it's coming along. Hopefully I'll finish it by the 4th of July. I was hoping to finish it by Labor Day, Memorial Day. I should have it done by Memorial Day, but we'll see. So this is America. There you go. And this is on 18 count Ada that I coffee tea dyed, and I am using thrift store floss. 1 strand. So that's that. And I think I put 1 strand in Joyeux Noel. This is Joyeux Noel. It is a free chart on the Aurifil site. You've heard me whining about the chart, which is why I'm going slow. And so I think I finished some of this right here, and then I put this strand in right there yesterday, and that is it. I have a feeling this is going to be a long project, almost as long as Pandemic's been, which I haven't picked up yet. So so this is all I've done. So not a whole lot, but I'm plugging along, plugging. But serendipity. Y'all remember me talking about serendipity? I was hoping to, so I had gotten this I had almost finished this. This one had come out and this one was about to come out. And I was hoping to at least get this one started this week. To kind of semi catch up. Well, this is all I worked on. I'm serious. So I got all of this done and I started the new release that was released, was it Saturday on the 1st. I think it actually came out Friday night, the night before. So this is how much I've done. So this is what I worked on all week. Stitching on the navy is getting easier. This is a navy Aida 14 count that I inherited from my mom, and I am using the call for DMCs on this one. And so once I discovered how to stitch, what works for me on stitching on dark colored fabrics, I was able to just plug along really, really fast. And so it's coming out pretty good. I'm enjoying it. There's a difference between this color and this color, and you can tell on camera, but in person it's kind of difficult for me to decipher. And so, especially when it's just kind of laying on my little thread keep thing, it's hard to tell the difference. But there you go. Serendipity sew along. And this stitch along, and this is, if you don't know, this is on the Fat Quarter Shop, and it is a charity stitch along, and they ask that you make a donation to Make-A-Wish in Texas. And I keep saying Tennessee, y'all. Sorry, we lived there for 14 years, so that just kind of rolls off the tongue. So there you go. And that's all I stitched. That's it. I'm 7 minutes into, no, back up the train. It's not all I stitch. See, I need to really pay attention to these things. So the beginning of the year, I don't remember, I think it might have been Mischievous Stitches mentioned heartstring sampleries, Sunday Stitches, monthly club. And I got all of them. They are the Sunday Stitches. They are the hymns, a line from a hymn. And I have 4 of them up until April. May's I have not been billed for it yet. So I decided there's going to be 5 Mondays in May. And I'm going to start a new one each Monday. So this is Sunday Stitches. I started it as well with My Soul. I love this song. And I am using Call for DMC. And this is what I got done. And I was working on it last night. And I said, well, I'm not going to work on America. I'm going to work on this. And I started to work on it. And my son, our middle child, our youngest son, came by to wash clothes and eat and use our internet. He's in school, he lives in some apartments, and because he moves around from apartment to apartment, just given the circumstances, it's weird. But anyway, he moves around from apartment to apartment. He doesn't have internet at the apartments. So he has it at the church where he works and where he goes to school, but, you know, not at the apartments. So anyway, he came here to watch some YouTube. So anyway, so this is what I got done. So I don't know if I'll finish, you know, one a week. I might continue making this a Monday stitch. I know I said I was getting rid of plans and certain days to work on certain things, but I really want to get these done. I know where I want them, where I want to hang them, and that would be over my mom's piano. And so knowing where I want them and where I'm going to put them makes it a little bit more motivating to stitch them, especially since I have nothing over the piano right now. So there you go. It is well with my soul. Anyway, oh, and this is some, so this is 16 count Aida from Michaels. And what I did with this one, and then I'm going to try to do some more this weekend, is I used the Dynaflow paint, fabric paint. This is not the same tulip stuff that I used last time. This is the Dynaflow. And I dyed these, and I ended up rinsing them, and I should not have rinsed them, and so they came out very, very splotchy. I did dry them in the oven, so that's why they have a little bit more of a pooling mottled look. But I really like the way they came out. So I'm going to try again this weekend. I bought 12 pieces of 16 count Aida at Michael's. And then I'm going to try to dye them all for these pieces. Each one might be big enough actually for 2 pieces, maybe. So we'll see. But I really like the way it came out after I rinsed it. And at first I was like, oh, I shouldn't have rinsed it, but I really like the way it came out. So this is the side I chose right here. And then this is the other side. So this has a little bit more of a burnt look to it. And it's not burnt, it's just the pooling of this was the bottom against the pan. Don't look at my stitches. And so this is how it came out. I think it came out good. I like it. I like the way it came out. I am definitely more of a neutral fabric stitcher, but I do want to try using some colors, maybe throwing some colors onto my neutrals and just seeing how that works. So that is Heartstrings Samplery Sunday Stitches. It is well with my soul. And I get mine from Acorns and Threads. So there you go. So that is my new and amended May plans. It's my birthday month. I can do what I want. And that's what I chose to do, is to work on these. And so anyway, so then I belong to the Carolyn Manning Facebook group. And if you've never seen Carolyn Manning's work, the thing that drew me to her work was her Dear Jane cross stitch, which Dear Jane is a quilt that was made in the Civil War. The blocks are 6 by 6. And her name is Jane Stickle. And a book had come out years and years ago about, you know, this quilt. And there were no patterns. There were just outline drawings of each block. Which, if you're a quilter, I mean, you know, you make a copy of it, you cut it out, you add your 1/4 inch, you're done. You know, seeing that it's Civil War, more than likely Jane did that. Drew her pattern out and cut it and added her seam and stitched it by hand. My mom and I both had the book, and I had the computer program, so you could print them out. And Mom and I, you know, we were going to work on it. Mom likes applique. She was going to do that. Yeah, I think she made 2 blocks, and I might have made 4. I need to put them together and just call it the Mini Jane, Baby Jane. I think they're calling them Baby Janes, because Jane's quilt is huge. I think there's like maybe 100 blocks, and then there's triangles on the border. No. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Some of the pieces are, no. No. Anyway, that's how I found Carolyn Manning. And so Carolyn Manning always has really, really good patterns. I love her patterns. They're written well. The charts are clear, not like Joyeux Noel. The charts are clear. I can see them. I know what she's doing. But I've never joined one of her stitch-alongs. And then she came out with one this week, May 1st. She announced it. Well, she'd been announcing it, but she released it May 1st. It's called the Tree Trimmer Ornament Stitch-Along. Starts in June. It's for 6 months. So May 1st, the sign-ups are for starting May 1st for an official June 1st start. But when you sign up, you get the first 3 charts. So there's 3 ornaments a month. It says the ornaments are designed with full stitches and back stitching, but each month there will also be instructions included to add some simple specialty stitches if you want to try your hand. She said, I wanted this stitch along to be user-friendly for the beginner to the advanced, so I hope everyone will find something that appeals to them, something new to challenge, and a whole lot of joy in the stitch. They are 42 by 42 stitches, wide and high, and it's going to measure about 3 by 3 on 14 count fabric. So she's making them so that they are consistent. She says, I've included fabric dimensions needed for a 2-inch finishing allowance. The bonus ornaments tucked into upcoming monthly packages will vary in size and theme, and stitch count and fabric dimensions will be included with those. So I signed up. It was $20 for 6 months. But when I signed up, and I don't know if it's still there or not, but when I signed up, there was a 20% discount included. So, without further ado, Carolyn Manning's The Tree Trimmer Ornament Stitch Along. Aren't they pretty? And I like that she's keeping them consistent in size. I like the fact that they're going to be 3x3 on 14 count Aida. So if I want to use 16, 18, or 20 count, I can. I have not decided what I'm going to use yet. I do have a good bit of 14 count from my mom. The blue like I have, and it's all in different colors. And so I might end up doing that. I also have some 14 count 6x6 inch squares that I picked up, I think, at a thrift store or something, in a package of a bunch of different fabrics. And so I might actually end up using those. I haven't decided on that either. The 6x6 squares might be a tad small for finishing. I don't know how I'm going to finish them, if I'm going to finish them flat, if I'm going to finish them in pillows. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, but I do want to keep them consistent in the 3x3 size. So the first set of patterns did have one ornament that had specialty stitches. I think she also mentioned on the Facebook page that she might include some with beads. If not, I might do that. She does have several colorways. She said ornaments are designed with 6 colorways that are interchangeable between the months, giving you more options for stitching. And I'll include some ideas on how to swap out colors for those of you that might be hesitant to make changes to charted colors. Anyway, and she does chart it, I believe, using DMC. I don't have the whole chart with me because my printer was being difficult. So anyway, Carol and Annie. So I'm excited about starting this. So June 1st, we'll start the Flea Market Flowers stitch along in this. So I like this. It's 3, and this is really a weekend stitch. I mean, you know, 1 a week. So there we go. Just a little plug. So anyway, I have a very small haul. I was hoping to have something exciting to show you. Post office told me it was going to be delivered yesterday, and my mailman decided that he couldn't make it to my house. Mailbox is 20 feet from my front door, 20 feet at the max, and he just didn't want to get out of his truck. And it really wasn't that big. It's this big, and my mailbox is this big, so he probably just didn't plan. So now the post office is saying that at customer request, it's being held at the post office. So I guess I have to go to the post office today. I need to call them and see exactly what that means, because it was not on my informed delivery, which if you don't have, get informed delivery. I love informed delivery. It doesn't always get delivered when they say they're going to, but at least you kind of know what to expect. Anyway, so my haul is not as exciting this week as I was hoping it would be. So next week it'll be exciting, although by then the excitement will have ended because I was going to open it. Anyway, so I ordered me Tending the Garden by Blackbird Designs. This is a Blackbird Designs quilt book. There is a cross stitch chart. I think there's a rug hook chart, punch needle chart, different things, but I got it for, hold on, I'm going to see if I can find it. I should have marked it, y'all. I'm sorry. Here we go. I got it for this house. So, I think last week I showed you the other Blackbird Design quilt book I got. So, and then I got this one. I think I forgot to show you this. I don't remember if I showed this to you or not, but I want to make this to go on my red wall. And, you know, I know a lot of Blackbirds have some over 1s, and I don't like to stitch on linen, or even weave is okay. I'd rather stitch on Aida. So it's a chart before I dive in and start. I really have to figure out how I'm going to stitch it on Aida if I choose not to use an even weave. So, but I like their quilt designs. I'm not an appliquer, but I think I can work around that. It's easier for me to work around it in quilting than it is in stitching. So anyway, so that's all I have for you guys. We're at 20 minutes, and I think I probably babbled more about my life than my stitching, but I didn't get a whole lot done, you know. But I'm excited about starting the hems, the Sunday stitches. Oh, if you have not gone to Pinker and Pumpkin's site, I didn't print them out. I meant to print them out. Sorry, Melissa. She has got 2 new charts. One of them is the little lamb, the sheep that she always has sitting in a cup or something, and he is sitting in an Uncle Sam hat. And the other one is a house. So I'm excited about getting the house started. It's an Americana house. I believe it's got a flag. So I'm hoping to get that one started. I will probably start those in June to have ready for July 4th. And I did make a quilt, and at the encouragement of Log Cabin Stitcher, I might be putting out a quilt video later this week. I'll see. We're rearranging my sewing room, so hopefully that can get kind of sort of put back together before I start showing, before I start filming in there, because to show you the quilts I need to film in there. So anyway, y'all have a blessed day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.